Hello BookTube. For the second prompt, I'm going to be doing this tag Thursday. It is going to be the Bar and the Bookcase tag. This tag was created by Jalen at the Bar and the Bookcase, and I will leave a link to his channel down below. So the prompts are all relating to various classic, I'm assuming, cocktails, which is a bit ironic for me because I don't drink, so maybe one of these days there's going to be a soda or a drink tag. Assuming, of course, Literary Gladiators hasn't already done it, or Josh of Literary Gladiators hasn't already done one. I need to go check. There are quite a few of those tags I haven't done yet. Anyway, prompt number 1, Old Fashioned, a historical fiction recommendation. When I first saw this tag and watched various variations on this tag, this prompt gave me some pause because I don't really read historical fiction all that much. But today I got to thinking, and well, there is one work of historical fiction, I mean it is fantasy, that does jump to mind, and that is The Legend of the Condor Heroes series by Jin Yong, which is set in the waning years and decades of the Southern Song Empire and the collapse of the Jin Empire. So, yeah, and I highly recommend it. That book is amazing. Or this series of books, well, I mean, it's one big novel broken up in at least in English translation in separate books. But anyway, I highly recommend Legend of the Condor Heroes series. I've been reading it over the course of this year, and I've been having a blast when I've been reading it. Prompt number 2, Sidecar, a book with a strong supporting character. Brand from The Last Son by Katie Edwards. Brand is the companion bodyguard of Rune St. John, and is basically far more competent in almost everything than our main protagonist is, which, while making Brand a rather awesome character, also basically makes Rune a bit of a disappointing protagonist. Manhattan, a book set in New York. For this, I'm going to go with Charming Billy by Alice McDermott, in which the book is set in various locations of New York City. It's about this man, Billy, who ended up dying from alcohol poisoning, and how his extended family reacts to his death. Another book set in New York would be The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This is a epic fantasy, well, the beginning of one, in which the boroughs of New York are incarnated into avatars, as is the city itself. And these avatars having to come together to fight this sort of otherworldly, Lovecraftian invasion. Bloody Mary, book that scared you, messed you up. I don't think there's a book that really scared me or messed me up. Espresso Martini. What is that? Book that kept you reading into the night. So the last book that kept me reading into the night was likely Clash of Kings or Storm of Swords, or a combination of the two, because I remember reading both of them when I first bought them from Book People, reading them, like just gorging myself on them overnight in my dorm room. Sazerac, a book that left you disoriented. I don't think I've ever read a book that left me disoriented. Long Island Iced Tea. Book that is doing too much. A book that is doing too much. No, that wouldn't work. I don't know if nothing's really jumping to mind right now. Maybe Prior of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I think that book tries to do too much. And in general, a lot of these big multi-POV fantasy novels, I think maybe try to do too much and not necessarily succeed. Negroni. A book with a love triangle. So, when I saw this tag, I had one jumped out at me to mind at me. I guess in Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie, there's Simon Doyle. He is in love with Jackie. I'm blanking on her last name. And he is pursued by Lynette. He marries Lynette and leaving Jackie in the cold, and Jackie then pursues them everywhere. There's another love triangle I saw, but was thinking of, but I don't quite remember what it was. So we'll just go with Death on the Nile. Bay Breeze. Book with light, chill, heartwarming vibes. I would say, in a way, the tarot secret novels that have been released. While there are moments of heaviness, of bad things happening to characters, I think overall Katie Edwards does produce a very warm, heartwarming, kind of chill setting, or particularly in the personal relationships of the found family aspect of Rune and Brand, and the growing sort of coterie of characters that surround them. I mean, sometimes I'm not entirely sure about some of the interactions, but anyway. Dark and Stormy. Book that's dark, thrilling, and menacing. Bonus point if the setting matches. Dark and Stormy. I would go with Perdido Street Station by China Miéville. It is the first book in the Bastillog series, and it features a renegade scientist trying to produce an unlimited source of power. And during his experimentations for a client, he accidentally unleashes a plague of nightmares. And thinking of China Miéville, now I remember my original answer for Negroni. It was Iron Council by China Miéville, in which Judah Lowe is he's kind of the main character. He's involved with, and I'm completely blanking on the other characters' names. I'm sorry about that. Should have did a bit more research. But it has been like 10 years since I've read any of the books. No, it's been about 10 years since I've read The Scar and Iron Council. It's been relatively more recent since I've read Perdido Street Station. And Martini, a classic recommendation. I would go with probably Bleak House by Charles Dickens. The one of his big doorstopper novels. It's about a never-ending legal case that eventually drains the fortune under contention away, and it is rather an amazing book. Although it has been well over a decade since I last read it, but I quite remember it fondly. So that was the Bar and the Bookcase tag, and if you would like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged, and I will see you tomorrow with weekly reads. So until then, thank you BookTube, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.